new here, my name is TARALYNN and welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Not only am I reviewing this palette from Pat McGrath, this is her limited edition palettes. I think she brought out 3 of them. I only got the one. I wanted all 3, but then there's so many other palettes that I want that I just decided to pick one. So this is the Pat McGrath Sublime Bronze Temptation palette. This palette is $55. These shades are so pretty. I ordered this palette because to me this was the most wearable palette out of all the palettes. That's my personal opinion based on what I look for and the shades that I like in palettes. I'm really excited to play around with this palette. And I also, on the Pat McGrath website, I picked up these 2 holiday collection lippies. So these are $65. Look at the packaging on these. Oh my gosh, this box is like, I've never seen anything like it. This is from her holiday collection. These are the holiday lipsticks that just launched. These are $65 for the 2, or I think they're $38 a piece. But I went ahead and got the 2 pairs. Now, you can get the palette on the Pat McGrath website and Sephora, but these lippies, you have to buy them on the Pat McGrath website. So just FYI, the holiday lipsticks are on her website only. But not only am I playing with those 2 products today, but I'm also collaborating with Jennifer Joyce Beauty. I am so excited. She reached out to me a little bit ago and asked if I wanted to do a collaborated video, and I was so excited to collaborate with her. She reached out to me the other day and said, hey, I picked up the Bronze Temptation palette from Pat McGrath. Did you pick up that palette? It was crazy because they actually, the day before, I had bought the palette. So we probably bought it on the same day. I took advantage of the sale and got this palette on the Sephora website. So it was like perfect. It was like meant to be. And so we are both going to review this palette. So then we decided to challenge ourselves to create these looks that we found either on the Pat McGrath website or the Instagram page. So, you know, trying to recreate any look from Pat McGrath is unbelievably difficult because she is on a whole other level of talent. Everything that I've seen, I gravitate to her artistry. There is some phenomenal artists out there. There's something about her looks that grab me. And so, you know, trying to recreate anything that she does is very difficult, but we tried and I think we did our very best. So she's recreating this beautiful, like dark brown with that beautiful green shade. I am so excited that she chose that look because that look is so beautiful. And then I chose this look, which was a little bit more toned down, a little bit more my speed. It's got more of like the browns with that really bright on the lid. I'm so obsessed with it. It's so pretty. When you get done watching this video, I'm gonna link her video in the description box down below. Both of our videos will be up at the same time. So when you are seeing this, her video will already be up. I will link that video in the description box down below. Head over to her channel. She is amazing. She's a hairstylist. She is a makeup artist and she has oily skin. I have like dry normal. So it's very interesting to watch her reviews because she's coming from an oily skin perspective and I have more like dry normal. So everything's different. Head over there. I will link everything in the description box down below. I love you, Jennifer. Thank you again for reaching out to me to do this collaboration. This is my very first collaboration and I am so excited that it was with her. I do have more collaborations coming up in the next couple of months, so be on the look for that. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So this is the look that I'm going to try to attempt to do, but again, I mean, it's Pat McGrath, so you know, her skills are on a whole other level of skills. So I'm gonna do my simple version of this, but this look is definitely my type of look. Like it's got the warm browns with the beautiful highlighted inner corner highlight with it coming down, you know, around here. Like all summer long, I was bringing my inner corner highlight to like the middle of my lower lash line. So this is totally right up my alley. This is what the packaging looks like, typical Pat McGrath. Now, these I struggle with the packaging. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I struggle with this packaging. I think it's very unique and it's her signature packaging. This isn't my favorite packaging only because when you open it up, okay, so you have, you know, you have a mirror in here, but it's very hard to use. The mirror doesn't want to stay open. It just wants to shut. Like if it tips up just a little bit, it'll shut. Don't get me wrong, I don't use the mirror in the palette just because this flap right here, like if you want to use it, this flap is always right at my chin. So it's a nice sized mirror. I mean, it is a nice sized mirror. It's not very user friendly. Now, when you have the palette sitting on the makeup counter, like when I first start using it, like this wants to just constantly flop. So the packaging is not my favorite. And this card on the inside is kind of hard to get out. I think this packaging is my least favorite, but the quality of the shadows completely 100% make up for it. So this is how beautiful these shades are. They are so beautiful, you guys. And I am so excited to play with this palette. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna go obviously in with this middle brown shade, and it's kind of like a caramel type color. And I'm gonna take my M506 from Morphe, and I'm just gonna start placing this in my crease. And the thing that I've noticed with Pat McGrath shadows is that I do better if I go in very lightly and build from there. Because her shadows are so pigmented, if you go in heavy, you have so much pigmentation that it becomes a little bit harder to blend it out. So I recommend 100% going in lightly until you get used to the formula. Once you get used to the formula, you'll start to kind of be like, oh, okay, I got this. But, you know, if you're not used to the formula, I do recommend just going in with a light layer and building, because you can create gorgeous eye looks with her shadows. But it takes a minute to get used to the pigmentation and the way that the pigmentation blends. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Until I reach the desired depth with that shade, I'm just gonna continue to do this. So I might go in, you know, 4 or 5 different times with the shade and just really kind of working it. And I am kind of dragging it now out here on this outer corner, just to kind of give a little bit of definition out here on that crease. It's hard for me to talk and do this at the same time. Like I always struggle when I'm editing, because I'm always like, I stop talking mid-sentence when I'm doing an eye look. Ugh, it's a nightmare. I'm a nightmare. And I am kind of creating that V, because this eye look does kind of have that V where it's drawn out on this outer corner. Now I'm starting to get some of that definition with that pigmentation. That shade is amazing. So now I kind of have that shade, kind of the dimension that I'm looking for. I mean, obviously, you guys, I'm never gonna be able to pull that off, like ever, but this is my, you know, this is my fun version of it. So now I'm gonna go into the other matte brown, which is this one right here. And this one kind of seems like it's got a little bit of like a purple base to it. So it's probably more of a cool tone brown. Now I'm going to just concentrate this in this inner corner. I'm gonna try to be careful with this shade and just kind of keep it in the crease only and not bring it up too high. Now I'm just lightly feathering it. Like, these shadows are so pigmented that you can kind of move them in such a precise area. It's so amazing. Now I'm taking my M504 and just kind of sweeping that over just to make sure that everything is blended. And I keep looking in the monitor. The monitor through the camera will pick up spots on my eyeshadow is not blended and that I can't see through the mirror. It's so weird. It's not like my monitor is huge, but it helps to see the pigmentation and make sure it's blended. Now I only went in one time with that dark shade and I was able to, you know, really work with that one time. So, this shade is extremely pigmented. The hard part is matching it. Like, oh, if I only had to do one eye, I would be completely living my best life. It's like trying to match them. Oof, it's the hardest part is trying to match them. Oh, shish kebabs. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the lid, but it almost feels like she just put like this shade right here all over the lid and then just had it darker on the outer corner. Let's do my Sigma. This is my E55 eye shading brush. So I'm gonna dip back and forth between those two matte shades and I'm gonna pack this outer corner. I'm gonna go into that first, like the lighter brown matte shade, and I'm gonna pack that over top just to kind of bring out that shade. No fallout, absolutely amazing. Okay, she's beautiful. Gosh dang, I already love this palette. Oh, it's so pretty. So now I'm going to take that pencil brush. I'm going to go into the lighter matte brown shade, and I'm going to connect this with my lower lash line. But I'm only bringing it in like halfway. The pigmentation, peeps. Okay, now I'm going to go into the dark brown, but I'm going to keep this as close to the lash line as possible. Then I'm going to go back into the matte brown and just kind of smoke that in. All right, now I'm going to go in with my felt tip applicator, and I'm going to go in with that light shade right here, the lightest shade in the palette. And I'm just going to start putting this all over my lid, but kind of bringing it out. Now that's what it looks like dry, but I might want to wet this. We're going to put it down first, and then, yes, help me. Okay, so that is absolutely gorgeous. Like, oh, that's a pretty shade, but I do want to wet it down. I'm going to put some on the applicator. So I've got some right here, and then I'm going to spray it with some MAC Fix Plus. And then I'm just going to kind of bring this in. Oh, yes. Do you see that pigmentation? It is so pretty. Oh my gosh. What is it about makeup that just excites me? Like, it just brings me so much joy. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't help it. I can't help myself. I can't. It's so freaking pretty. I'm gonna take like just a concealer brush. I don't know. This is just any old concealer brush. And I'm gonna go down into that shade, and I'm gonna wet it. And then I'm gonna bring this right here and just kind of start sweeping this in. She is beautiful. All right, I'm gonna kind of blend this in, and then I'm gonna go back to that E55 shader brush, and I'm gonna go into that first like caramel, like matte shade, the lighter shade, and I'm just gonna kind of start sweeping this right up here to kind of blend those shades together. This is probably my favorite eye look that I've created using a Pat McGrath palette. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH42 brush. And I'm going to put some of that light shade, this one, which is the one that's all over my lid, that I'm absolutely heavenly in love with. And I'm going to spray it, and I'm going to highlight the brow bone with this. Right here. There is something so flippin' magical about this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish this eye, and then when I come back, I have the new Pat McGrath lippy set that I'm so excited to play with. So I'll go ahead, finish this eye, put some lashes on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I went ahead and threw on some lashes. These are from House of Lashes. These are probably the most comfortable lashes I think I've ever worn in my life. Like, these are amazing. This is the Ethereal Lights from House of Lashes. And the reason why I chose these is because they do kind of have that separation a little bit, kind of like the picture did. These are the most comfortable lashes I've ever worn. I don't feel like I have lashes on. These are amazing. I'm gonna buy like 10 more pairs of these. I love the House of Lashes Iconic Lights. Those are one of my favorite pairs, but these are even more comfortable than those. Like, I'm obsessed. I like the House of Lashes more than Lily Lashes. I don't wear Lily Lashes a lot because they're too heavy. They're way too much for my eyes. So I just don't wear them. I have them, but I just don't wear them. I always reach for the House of Lashes. And I'll be honest, I hate paying like $20, $25, $30 for a pair of lashes. I think it's pretty ridiculous because I spend like $12 on these and I can get maybe 5 to 10 wears out of each pair. So I prefer the House of Lashes, but these are incredible. Incredible. So this is what the palette looks like swatched. And to be honest with you, now after swatching the palette, I'm almost thinking that maybe she put a little bit of this shade on the outer corner, but I didn't do that. This shade looks red when you look down into the pan. It looks like a maroon shade, but it's actually a green, like purpley shade, which is just unbelievable, you guys. This is the shade I have all over my lid. These are the two matte shades. And then this is the green shade, but my gosh, this palette is so beautiful. in every way. It's so pretty. So these are the lip swatches. I wanted to show you guys why I have the camera up close. Nude Romantique and Flesh Fatale. So that is what those shades look like, and they are absolutely beautiful. I am so excited to play with these. Oh, they're so pretty. This is the first Pat McGrath lipstick formula that I have bought. I do have a few of her glosses, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't like overly in love with the glosses. Let me show you which one I have. This one is in the shade Flesh Astral, and don't get me wrong, I like the gloss, but it's really overpriced for what it is. So I really don't wear it a lot just because it is super overpriced. And I have other glosses in my collection that work just as good for half the price. But I've heard nothing but amazing things about her lipstick formula. So I'm really, really excited to play with these. I also have a little mini set coming from Sephora. I just ordered it. It hasn't arrived yet. But let me just tell you, the packaging, so this is the box. This is how beautiful the box is. This is so luxurious and like, oh, I'm obsessed with the packaging. And then you open it up and it has this little like flap where it closes right here. And then the lipstick is down inside, but look at this. I don't even know that I even care about the color, but can you imagine being out somewhere and pulling this out of your purse and just being like, having one of those like, I am fancy and I'm the shit kind of moment. This packaging is unbelievably beautiful. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen packaging quite like this, with the beautiful lips and then this gold reflective. And now the thing about this gold is that you can't feel it. It's a very smooth texture so that you don't feel glitter on your hand. It's been sealed. This packaging is the prettiest packaging I've ever seen in a lipstick, ever. I don't have anything like this in my collection. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go ahead and put on Nude Romantique. And I'm just going to do it without lip liner. That is very pretty. You can feel the sparkles in the formula, so it has a little bit of that gritty texture. But it's super pigmented, as you can see, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's very creamy, but you can feel the gritty. So if you like more of a smooth type lipstick formula, this isn't going to be something that you're going to want to pick up, because as you rub it, you can feel the grittiness. It does have that intense sparkle to it, so that's the reason for the grittiness. So this is the shade Flesh Fatale. Flesh Fatale? I don't know how to pronounce anything, you guys. This is more my color with this look. This is beautiful. Okay, so again, this is my first time using any lipstick formula from Pat McGrath. I have the gloss, but no lipsticks. And I will say right off the bat, it's very creamy. It's got that satin metallic-y finish. Again, the grit, if you don't like the grit, but it doesn't feel like it's going to move around a lot, which is what I like. It feels like it's a formula that wants to stay in place. So I'm kind of, yeah, I'm obsessed. This is beautiful. If there's any shades in this new collection that you are looking at, I do not think you'll be disappointed. They are very expensive. It's Pat McGrath, but these are stunning. So my final thoughts on the palette. I've made a mess of it from swatching it, but I am so happy I picked this one. I love this palette, and I think the shades are extremely pigmented. In my review of the Mothership 5 palette, I discuss in more detail how to kind of work with the Pat McGrath formula if you're not used to it, because I know that when I personally first used it, I was really overwhelmed. First look that I created with the Pat McGrath palette did not work because I was not used to that much pigmentation. And so in that video, which I will link up in the iCards, that one was, I go into a little bit more detail about how to work with a Pat McGrath formula, because the pigmentation is just unbelievable. But these shades are very unique, very pretty, and I don't know that I have any of these shades in my collection. I really like these duochrome shades in here. These are definitely my favorite in the palette because they are that duochrome. You know, you look at them and like from here, it looks like a rust with an olive shift to it. But then when you look at it through the camera, straight on, it kind of has that pink, like that dark, like magenta shade. As I've discovered the Pat McGrath formula, her duochromes are my favorite. Because these are limited edition, if you are wanting to pick one up, I recommend it. Now, for those of you guys that, you know, really want a Pat McGrath palette, but, you know, the price tag is pretty steep, on the Pat McGrath website, she does have what they call, I think it's the Affirm. It's a monthly payment plan. I think Morphe's doing it. Kylie Cosmetics is doing it. There's a few brands that do it. Beautylish does it. But you can buy what you want and then make payments on it, which is super nice. I mean, it's tough putting out that much money for a palette like this. If you guys wanted to pick up a set of the Lippies, or if you wanted to pick up one lippy and you wanted to pick up a palette, that is a great way, especially right now during the holidays. You know, money's going to be even tighter because, you know, you're buying for everybody else. So if this is something that you guys have been wanting to pick up, whether it's the Mothership 5 or one of these limited edition palettes, I recommend, you know, you can totally use that interest-free payment plan. It's amazing, you know, if it's something that you guys are wanting to do. By the way, I want to let you guys know that because I didn't do my Foundation Friday video yesterday, you know, yesterday went up the Huda Beauty nude palette, so I really wanted to get that review out for you guys. So that went up yesterday, and then this collaborated video went up today. So I want to let you guys know that Monday I will be doing my full review on my foundation. I'm so excited. I'm testing out the new ColourPop Stick Foundation. So that video will be up on Monday. I apologize for not having a Foundation Friday video up yesterday, but so many of you guys have been requesting that Huda palette, and I am so excited that I was able to get it up on my channel for you guys. That is my review and tutorial and my collaboration video with my beautiful friend Jen. Thank you, Jen, for collaborating with me. I love you and I love your channel, and you are so amazing as a human, and I'm so happy that I met you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys again for all the love and the support you guys give me and my channel and my journey. I love you guys more than you guys could ever even imagine, and I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend filled with love, happiness, and joy. I love you guys so much. Bye.